people got on you about was when you went to Miami. You made the decision to go to Miami. I know some great things behind that as well. Me, lifelong Miami Heat fan, I loved it. But what was it like coming down there, winning your first championship, and what was that kind of load lifted off your back? 'Cause you talk about being amongst the one-name guys. Championships obviously got to come with that. So what was that like going down there and getting that done?
Yeah, I mean, listen, my aspiration was a lot bigger than just, winning MVPs and, being an all-star and, whatever all the individual things is. Before I even got to the NBA, I've always won. And it doesn't matter which level you win on. If you're in a winning environment, that shit carries on throughout the rest of your life. My first year ever playing organized sports, I won a Little League football championship that year, and then backed it up with a basketball championship. Undefeated season. My second year, we did the same thing, and I was league MVP in basketball and football. Through middle school championships, through high school, I won 3 state championships. I was just always born winner, and I knew how to win because of the culture that I was around. I knew how it was supposed to be done. And at that moment, my 7 years in Cleveland, I had some good years, obviously, some great years. One, was able to take the team to the NBA Finals. I was 22 years old. I had a moment in Detroit where I went insane, 25 straight, 29 out of 30, and took a team that you look back at our roster, you're like, what the hell? How was that even possible?
There's a lot of those, brother. We don't want to dive into all of them. You were at the finals with 45 straight years.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it got to the point that final season, I was like, I've maximized this potential.
Yeah.
I've squeezed all the juice out of this damn lemon here, and I know it. And in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I have to make a choice for my career going forward. And Miami was the best choice, at that moment. I felt like it was the best choice for me. The conversation I had with D Wade, had with Bosh, had with Udonis Haslam. D Wade and UD had been there. They had won, had beat Dallas. They had been in some big playoff matchups with Detroit, where Detroit beat them and then they beat Detroit, and things of that nature. And then you look at the big four that Boston had. Everybody talk about the big three, but everybody always decides that for some odd reason that Rondo wasn't as great as Rondo was.
Yeah,
it's always just the big three.
He's from Boston.
Not me.
LeBron's
always saying
they say the big three, but fucking Rondo was when he was a dog. He brought it all. He made it all work with those guys because Ray wasn't bringing the ball up. You had Ray flying around. You had Paul when he get it at a certain spot, and Paul was a killer. And then you had KG was anchoring the defense, and also, you throw it to the low post. But they all started with the mind, and that was with Rondo. So for me to go down to Miami, man, one, it was a terrifying experience for me. You got to think, I don't know a lot of people know, it's the first time I ever left my hometown. I was 25 years old. You got mad. My first 7 years, even though I played for Cleveland, I still lived in Akron. So for 25 straight years, I was
awesome house. You had an awesome house. We've seen that. That's a great house.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable. That is my comfort. My comfortability is being in Akron, Ohio. I drive 30 minutes to Cleveland, I play my games, and then I shoot right back down to Akron, and I'm good. So for the first time, it's like I've always used the analogy, like I felt like this was my college moment. I didn't have to go to college, so like going to Miami was my, moment to basically get out the house with my parents. I was going off to college, and I learned a lot, man. And shit, 2 championships, 4 finals appearances, 2 more MVPs, and things that I can always look back on and say it was a hell of an experience.
And you guys were the Heat.